everybody. This is Sree from Biz Buzz, where business matters the most and what matters the most for the business, and sponsored by MyWorkbelt. MyWorkbelt is a all-in-one productivity software. Also, some people call it as a business operating system for small and micro businesses, where they can run their business sitting from Aruba or from the couch at their home, couch of the home. And now we have a guest, Craig Andrus. Craig is a principal ally at Allies for Me, who provides a help on high ticket, high trust items for their clients. Craig, how are you doing?
Sree, I'm doing wonderfully. How about yourself?
I am I am doing wonderful as well. Thank you very much for being on the call today, and always a pleasure talking to you, and enjoy learning from the topics that we discuss and sharing that with the rest of the world. So we have talked a few minutes ago that we are talking about having what is the importance of having right tools in the hands of right people and how that leads to the success, right?
Yeah.
So, first of all, it is seen to be logically an agreeable statement. In order for you to have a successful business owner have to focus on the right people, putting them on the right responsibilities, and giving them the right tools. But you and I know practically that's not always happens.
Yeah.
And sometimes the tools meaning get really grayed out and it gets confused, right? So tell me, in the marketing perspective, a message is also a tool. Am I right?
Message is also a tool. Um, the message is a tool, the brand, being very clear on what your brand is, a tool. You know that we're big fans of first time offers,
Correct.
are a tool. But as you were just talking, there was something I was thinking about. I do woodworking as a hobby. I haven't done much of it lately, but I'm getting
Uh-huh.
back out into the shop. And you will see woodworkers that have the most fantastic tools
That's right.
out there, but you don't see the furniture coming out that represents the quality of the tool.
That is
It
correct.
always takes somebody to operate the tool that has skill.
Absolutely.
And so and as I was thinking about that, as you were talking, when we think about marketing,
Uh-huh.
sometimes people, anybody that knows me knows that I use HubSpot. I'm a HubSpot partner. I've been using HubSpot for almost a decade now. Very
Right.
familiar with it. I think it's a great tool, but HubSpot's not going to make your marketing great
No.
any more than one of my Japanese chisels in my shop will make your furniture beautiful. It's whose hand is the chisel in
Mm-hmm.
that's going to determine the difference between is it a beautiful piece of furniture or a mediocre piece of furniture.
Right.
And some people go off and they try to buy tools and they think tools such as HubSpot, which is a wonderful tool, but they buy HubSpot hoping that's going to fix their marketing problems. And often what it does is it amplifies the problems that are there.
Because now the person who is using the tool may not be familiar with the tool and may not know how to use the tool. And that leads into the frustration and wanting to go back to the old tools that they were using, which were comfortable with.
Well, and usually it's a measure that they don't have a good strategy.
Right.
So one of my mentors says that marketing simply accelerates the inevitable. If you have a
Hmm.
business that's fundamentally flawed,
Hmm.
that maybe can't scale or it has some problem.
Hmm.
And so let's talk about the sales team. And I'm not trying to pick on sales. I know I'm a marketer and it's easy target, but the um, but if you don't have the right sales team in place and you start applying marketing, let's say marketing's working great.
Yes.
Um, when you start generating more business, if you don't have a sales team that can scale, well, then that's where the breakdown will be. Or you put a great tool like HubSpot in the hands of a marketer and you find out that you have the wrong marketer. They don't
That's right.
have a strategy. And so all of a sudden, it would be like putting me in a NASCAR or a Formula One racer. Um, it My limitation is not the car. My limitation is the driving skills. We have an F1 track here in Austin, and you can put me in the best car, and I'm going to lose the race. And
What we
so,
are learning here is that it's not just simply the people, it's not just simply the tool, but the skill level of the person using the tool is actual essence of the success.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Oh, what a wonderful concept.
Yeah. And and actually, I'll give a real life example from racing. Danica Patrick has retired from racing. And
Hmm.
I would say she was a great driver. I mean, you can't compete at the levels that she competed without being a great driver.
Right.
But I think she was the first woman to win a IndyCar race.
Mm.
And it looked like she was on track to win the Indianapolis 500.
Mm.
Well, they changed the rules. They started weight handicapping drivers, and Danica Patrick was tiny. She was less than 100 pounds, and she was
Oh,
driving a car that was 1,600 pounds.
yeah.
And and so it turned out her margin of excellence was all tied in her weight. And that when
Now
they
she had
changed,
to put on the weight in order to be in the competition. Now she's at a disadvantage of using the tool that she was comfortable to use before.
yeah, and that's when she switched over to NASCAR. Was when they changed the handicapping, and she went over to NASCAR. And like I said, she's a good driver,
Yeah,
but she didn't win championships. She's not a great driver. And
yeah.
so that's an example of it's a combination of the tool and whoever's handling the tool. And in her example, you had a good driver handling a great tool, and she got good results. But if you put a bad driver like me in the car, the tool's not going to rescue me.
It's not going to do anything.
Yeah,
So the concept of everybody is saying that you have the right tools in the hands of the people in order for having a success of the business. Whatever the growth, whatever the efficiency, anything that you sought after, right?
yeah,
Now, what
yeah,
we are learning here in this discussion that it's not only the right tool in the hands of a people, that the skill level of that person using that tool needed to be top notch in order for the optimum efficiency comes out of the tool people and that leads into the success and the efficiency of the business.
yeah. And if we bring it back to the race car example, the difference between NASCAR and most businesses is in NASCAR, there's only one winner per race. You know,
Yes,
and in most businesses, there's a lot of winners,
there are a
right?
lot of yes.
So a good driver like Danica, you know, with a great tool is perfectly fine in most business cases. But you have
In
to make
most
sure you have
cases,
both.
yes.
You have to have the right, back to what you were saying, Sree, you have to have the right person with the right tool.
And now the training of that person on the tool will actually enhance the overall output.
Yes. Yeah. If somebody would sit with me and teach me how to drive a Formula One racer,
And bring up your skill level to the top level. And then, yes, you're automatically going to be comfortable in doing what race is needed.
yeah, yeah. Well,
Excellent.
here, let me give you another example.
Yeah,
Probably everybody listening has Microsoft Word on their computer.
absolutely. I cannot imagine anybody not having a Microsoft on their computer when they're doing business these days.
Well, the words that I type into Microsoft Word are significantly better than the words the average business person types in Word
Well,
because I'm
take
a mark.
me.
Yeah,
Take me. Words you type in the word is totally utmost quality than what I can try.
But let me take this back, and this is coming back to your point about training. Uh, I approaching a decade ago, I was taking a writing class, and the guy teaching the class said that you guys are basically word monkeys. He said the thought that a author is naturally skilled is just not true.
Mhm.
Anybody can be a good writer. You just need to know, you need to know what is good writing, and then you have to write a lot and you have to read good writing. He said,
Yeah.
but he said, everybody in this room has the ability to be an exceptional writer. And so I
Mm.
applied what he did. And so maybe 10 years ago, if you give me Microsoft Word and you give somebody else Microsoft Word, the product might look very simple, similar in terms of what comes out. But we were using the same tool. 10 years later, give me Microsoft Word and your other average person Microsoft Word, and the output's going to be radically different. But it's
Because
not
of
because I'm
skill.
uniquely gifted, it's because I got the right training, I got the right direction, and then I practiced.
Right. So what we are taking here is not just simply the people, not just simply the tool, the skill of the person using the tool and how they can gain the master in the skill of the tool is by right training and by practicing. There's a lot of coverage that we are doing.
Yeah. Yep.
Excellent. Craig, thank you very much for joining me today. It is always awesome talking to you, and there's always learning when we have a dialogue like it. And listeners who are enjoying our content here, and I hope that you are taking these concepts and applying in your business for the survival and growth of your business. Wishing you guys all the best. Thank you very much, Craig, for joining me today.
Thank you, Sree.